So way to do about that, one of the ideas that would work still nowadays, is you need to find a private money lender as a partner, and put that person together with your tenant. Have your tenant get a 6 months private loan. Obviously it will not be on very good terms, but they don't have much choice.
Right.
So that way you will get the money up front, and 6 months later that third party, the money lender, will be dealing with your tenants collecting that back. And the reason why we are saying third, when I'm saying third person, not between you, because if you try to do that, you can say, well, I can do that, I essentially work in that capacity. You don't have as much leverage later in collection as an independent lender who would put a lien on the house and will have some power over that person. Because look, if you've been landlord for that person, have not evicted him yet, you're not going to scare that person. Now by saying is, hey, you don't pay me 8,000, you are out. Not going to scare too many people out there. So basically that's the concept of credit. Now, before we leave the topic, just one thing to add. The good part about a new change in the rules is there is an entirely new category of people right now who qualify. Originally that was first-time home buyer. They say first time, but the government never means what they say. First time for them meant as somebody who did not have a house for 3 years before. So it doesn't have to be your first house ever. But for the 3 years before, you had to not have your personal home. Interestingly, you could have rental properties.
Oh, you can?
Yes, you can. But not your own. You could not live in a house you own. So that was there for 2 years. And they just added a new category, which is on another extreme. People who lived in a house for a long time. Long time is 5 years. So if you were in the same house for 5 years and you want to move elsewhere, get another house, you would still qualify for the same treatment as a person who never had a house. The limit is a little lower, it's 6,500 instead of 8,000. But you still could do that, which for investors who are watching us right now should give an idea that you have an entirely new market to pursue right now. Not just your tenants who did not own the house, not people who are looking for their first homes, but people who outgrew their current house. Somebody who lived there for a while and want to switch neighborhoods, move to a different area, move to a bigger house, newer house, closer to good school district, whatever. This is a much different market to penetrate, and as far as I can see, very few people are even trying to do that. I think that's an opportunity to, instead of going after truly first-time homeowners, try to go after established homeowners who often don't even have an idea that they are entitled. You go to these people and think, yeah, you are in your house right now, you are used to that, but don't you want something else, something better? Plus, and look, and the government gives you $6.5 grand to move.
I'm sure their house is worth more than it was when they first purchased it. They've been living it over 5 years.
Yes.
So on top of...
Of course, where they are moving to also costs more now, so it kind of goes with it. But the concept is, when...
maybe. I don't know.
Under how many other situations you would get $6 grand from the government and be able to use it to buy a house for yourself. It's not a business investment. It's just $6 grand. So I would try to go around, spread that message, and get people interested in that opportunity. And then you come and saying is, well, and I happen to have houses that you're looking at.
There you go. Okay, closing question. We're in a new decade, 2010. What advice do you have to make 2010 a good tax year?
Actually, that would be the same advice that I would have given you last decade or decade before. Because really, question that I get all the time is, how do I save on taxes, obviously. You did not phrase it that way, but a lot of your questions were along that same way. So what is the best way to pay the least amount of taxes? The best way to do that is to keep good records.
Keep good records.
So, and the reason for that is, it may sound trivial and say, yeah, we heard that. True. However, just yesterday I was teaching a class for taxation for investors at one of the investor clubs. And we were looking at an example. Example was when we are doing flipping business and trying to make a profit. And what we saw there, that just in our particular example, overlooking 10,000 would cost you $3,000 in extra taxes. We're talking 1/3. It actually can go higher. It can go as high as 40%.
Oh my.
And let's put it in perspective. People, when they do deals and say, well, I had a couple deals, I didn't keep good records, I don't remember exactly how much I put into the homes. I know I made somewhere between 10 and 12, but I don't know exactly. So let's say you're making 1,000 mistake on that one property. That 1,000 mistake translates into $300 or $400 going out of your pocket to the government. And then we talk to these people and say, yeah, but keeping these records is a pain. Yes, it is.
But it's also an expensive
But
mistake.
think how much time you would spend arguing with your contractor to reduce price of his job by $300. We do it all the time.
Right.
We go find our contractors and saying, I got your quote, but I want your painting job cheaper. I want 500 discount, and we will go back and forth, and he will drop it down by 300. We will be happy. And then we don't keep receipt for that. So we give that 300 right back to the government.
Again.
And that's the biggest black hole that investors are dropping money into, not recording what they spend. So I cannot emphasize it highly enough. Actually, I can. I do it with people who come to hire me. When they say that, yes, that's just $1,000, and I'm saying, well, that cost you 300, 400. They say, well, that was a 20,000 job, 400 on a 20,000 job is not such a big deal. I think it's fine. Can I have my invoice back? I would take my invoice, I would add $400 to my invoice saying, you owe me $400 more. Since it's not a big deal, not a big deal.
Exactly. You should. All right, so make sure that you keep good records and take advantage of the tax credit for those who qualify, which it sounds like it would be a huge amount of people.
To me, it's not just like take advantage of the credit, try to find people many of whom don't even know it exists, and use that as a marketing device.
All right, this was really great.
But that's Jack's area, not mine.
Well, in the future, within the near future, you and Jack will do a teleseminar, and you'll further explain about the tax credit and everything else that our viewers may have questions about.
Sure.
Sound good?
All the time.
All right, guys, so check out www.michaelplaks.com, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Sophia.
Thanks for paying attention. Sorry, Sophia.
It's okay. I'm Sophia with flippinghouston.com, where all your flipping questions get answered. Okay.
Thanks.
All right, so we'll just edit a few of these things, and